Hi everyone. On the 18th of October, just a few days ago, Caitlin Johnson tweeted this out. John Bolton was trending on Twitter. She said, "It's always scary when this happens. Don't worry, I checked. He's not destroying the world today." Now he was just yelling at somebody on national television, just screaming at them. The very next day, I said this, remember when Kate Oz was scared the other day because John Bolton was trending on Twitter and she was relieved because he hadn't blown the world up yet? This shit is why. We should all be in constant alert of that psychopathic maniac's next moves, because The Guardian were reporting the very next day after Caitlin had tweeted that out saying John Bolton is pushing Trump to withdraw from the Russian nuclear arms treaty. And the very next day after that, Associated Press, breaking news, Trump says he will pull the US from the Intermediate Range Nuclear Forces Treaty with Russia. Says Moscow is violating it. This is the INF Treaty. For those that don't know, the INF Treaty was signed between these two fellas, Mikhail Gorbachev, and Ronald Reagan. 2,700 warheads were destroyed. 2/3 of them Russian, by the way. 2/3 of those warheads were Russian. Only 1/3 of them were American. What you won't hear from the talking heads on TV, in media, both in America and the UK, Gorbachev actually wanted to totally nuclear disarm. That's what he offered. Total nuclear disarmament. It was Reagan and America that said no. A little point that you won't hear on the BBC or in The Guardian. So this is what Trump has said. I've got two little videos here. The first one's extremely scary and the second one's worse. This is what he said.
Russia has violated the agreement. They've been violating it for many years, and I don't know why President Obama didn't negotiate or pull out. And we're not going to let them violate a nuclear agreement and go out and do weapons, and we're not allowed to. We're the ones that have stayed in the agreement, and we've honored the agreement, but Russia has not, unfortunately, honored the agreement. So we're going to terminate the agreement. We're going to pull out.
So he says they were going to pull out the agreement because we're not going to violate it and do weapons, whatever that means. He's going to violate it and do weapons. Here's the second video, though, because he's not just going to pull out of the deal.
Russia has not adhered to the agreement. This should have been done years ago. Until people come to their senses, we have more money than anybody else by far. We'll build it up until they come to their senses. When they do, then we'll all be smart and we'll all stop. And by the way, not only stop, we'll reduce, which I would love to do. But right now, they have not adhered to the agreement.
You're saying
It's a threat to whoever you want, and it includes China, and it includes Russia, and it includes anybody else that wants to play that game.
So there he is. He's not just going to pull out of the deal, he's going to build up the nuclear arsenal. Quick question. First of all, to all the people who've been saying he's Putin's puppet, you happy now? To all the people that have been saying that he's not being strong enough with Russia, that they want to make sure that there isn't a bad actor in the White House, to all the people that have been saying, oh, well, he must be a Kremlin stooge because he's pally with Russia and pally with Putin. You happy now? You're happy? You have pushed him to this. If your hawkishness towards him hadn't been as loud as it has been over the last 2 years, and all you really talked about, I mean, it's all MSNBC talked about for 2 years. And now he's pulled out of this deal. Now, I can't wait for the first blue check mark on Twitter to come out and say this is because Putin told him to. I can't wait. It's going to happen, I promise you. Somebody is going to say it. I wouldn't be surprised if it's somebody like Rachel Maddow or Michael McFaul. This is what happens when you attack a maniac from the right. When you attack him for not being hawkish enough. These are lefties that have been saying this. These are the supposed, peace-loving anti-war people that have been saying this. And it's not just MSNBC and the Washington Post and the New York Times, and it's not just those. It's supposed progressive channels as well that have been doing it non-stop for 2 years. And I have been screaming for 2 years now, for 9 months on this, on my website for previous, and for 9 months on doing this. I have been screaming, you are dangerous, you are pushing him to doing something nuts. And this is what happens. To all those people who have been saying he's Putin's puppet and Kremlin stooge, you're complicit in this. This is partly your fault. And my audience know who I'm talking about here. They know all the people that have been pushing this non-stop. And they also know the people that have been viciously fighting against it like me. And people like Aaron Maté. And others, people like Caitlin Johnson. And others who have got progressive channels, who know what is going on and can see what is plain before them. This is not rocket science. It really isn't. Anybody with a brain could be followed, could have said that something like this would happen. And we have, for years. The second thing is, he's saying now about doing another deal. Trump is in that video. Until we all do it, until we all stop it, then we'll reduce. Why would anybody do a deal with America? Why? Just recently, he pulled out of the JCPOA, the Iran nuclear deal. Said Iran had violated it. Everybody else, no. Iran hasn't violated it. The people who were going in there inspecting, no, they haven't violated it. No, Iran's violated it, we pulled out. So, essentially, America were the ones who violated that deal. Who pulled out of the Paris Climate Agreement? Pulled out of the Paris Climate Agreement last year. So America violated that. Who pulled out of the IBM treaty with Russia? The anti-ballistic missile treaty. George Bush. America pulled out of that. And now they're pulling out of the INF treaty. It's not the other countries that are violating these deals with America. It's America. It's the United States of America. It's their government that are pulling out of these deals. And the last thing I want to get to is the United Kingdom are supporting this move. So if you're in the UK, our government are supporting this. What do you think support is for this in the public? What do you think the public think of this? The public are going to think this is absolutely horrific, which it is. But the government support it. I'm losing my mind here. I think, weren't we meant to live in a democracy and the government were meant to, do things and serve the people's interests and what they want? What do you think support is for this? I say it's less than 15% in the public's eye that the UK should support this. But Gavin Williamson has come out and said, yeah, we stand with America. We are pulling away from European countries. And I'm all for leaving the EU, by the way. But we're pulling out of the EU and hitching our wagon closer and closer to the country which, let's face it, is most likely right now to be responsible for the end of the world. That's what it seems to me. Because they're the ones pulling out of all these deals that are meant to be safeguards to stop the end of the world and to stop nuclear winter. But there is a good side to this. There's a silver lining to this mushroom cloud. If we all get blown up and we all suffer a nuclear winter, hey, at least we won't have to worry about climate change anymore, eh? If you like this video and you want to see more, please subscribe and click the bell below so you get a notification of when I drop further videos. Independent voices like mine, I'm sure you're aware by now, are being censored across all social media platforms, so please like and comment on the videos. That really does help the channel out, and share the videos wherever you can to grow the audience. If you can, please support me on Patreon. You can do it for as little as $1 a month. I cannot do this without your help. I rely on your donations. Thanks very much for your support. It really is appreciated. Until next time, peace and take care.